It's the already changed, humble, contrite version of him that she falls for.
It's the beard.
And they continually choose each other, take accountability and work through things, and they continually grow to provide more safety, acceptance, and belonging for each other.
It's not just a one-way street, which is a great thing to see.
Do you really think that I would ever be with you?
It has nothing to do with his blue complexion. It has everything to do with his character. He's been horrible.
For a lifetime.
Instead of showing you who I really am, I'm going to show you who I think you want. The thing is, that never lasts.
I want to remember what you say right now.
This is one of my favorite lines in any movie ever. Hey everybody, welcome to Cinema Therapy. I'm Alan Seawright, a professional filmmaker who needs therapy.
And I'm Jonathan Decker, a licensed therapist who loves movies. What do you got for me today, Alan?
I would like for you to rank some romances. As I often have you do, we're ranking them for healthiness, not for awesomeness.
Yeah.
Because we all know that for awesomeness, it's us.
I ship us.
Every moment, as long as you're mine.
I'm such a Janelle stan.
We're looking at DreamWorks. We're looking at the DreamWorks canon. So I'm going to have you rank, in no particular order, Shrek and Fiona, Moses and Zipporah. That's right, the Bible is DreamWorks. Hiccup and Astrid, Poppy and Branch from Trolls, and Megamind and Roxanne Ritchie. The healthiest relationship of them all.
No, actually, they are the least healthy. Let's start there.
Okay.
He does not want to be judged by his actions because he's a lying kidnapper.
He does have big winged collars.
What? What? Oh! Don't look at me! Don't look yet. Well, never mind that.
I honestly think this is one of Will Ferrell's better movies.
Definitely.
Where were we? Now, hold on.
You!
So yeah, deception,
Yeah, this is a good foundation for a relationship, right?
pretending to be something that you're not because you think that what you are is unlovable. Shrinking all the garbage instead of actually taking care of the poor cat, my gosh.
I can explain. What about everything you just said? About judging a book
No.
by its cover?
Well, let's take
Some
a look
manipulation.
at the contents then, shall we? You destroyed Metro Man,
Yeah.
you took over the city, and
Bad.
then you actually got me to care about you! Why are you so evil? Tricking me? What could you possibly hope to gain? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I don't believe this.
He's lonely.
He just... because
Do you really think that I would ever be with you?
he love you.
He love you. The puppy dog face. Which, given how large his cranium is, you would think he would see this coming, like... Aww.
She will never find out. That's the point of lying.
And of course, the only reason he's evil is because he tried to be good and everybody wouldn't let him because he's blue and he's got a big brain and they bullied him and blah, blah, blah. Like, we get it.
Sure.
He's sympathetic. We have compassion. It doesn't change the fact that everything she said is true.
Yeah.
And frankly, most people who enter into relationships and manipulate and deceive and lie come from some sort of hard background.
Yeah, they're doing it for the right reasons.
Well, broadly speaking, people who are securely attached and loved don't make those choices.
Correct.
So I get where he's coming from. And at the same time, when she says, did you ever think that I could love you? It has nothing to do with his blue complexion or his large bald head. It has everything to do with his character. He knows deep down that he can be a good person.
Right.
But this is like the Batman Begins thing, right? It's not who you are underneath, it's what you do that defines you. And what he's done so far, he's been horrible.
For a lifetime.
And then because he wants her, and he assumes rightly that she wouldn't want to be with him, he deceives her and pretends to be someone that he's not. And in real life, we don't have like cool identity switching watches, but we can show up in relationships masking.
Sure.
We can show up saying, instead of showing you who I really am, I'm going to show you who I think you want. Mm-hmm. The thing is, that never lasts. It's unsustainable, and it's miserable, and you are destined to break the heart of the person that you are with and make yourself even more unhappy.
Correct.
Far better to be authentic and to say, because where he gets by the end of the film is, this is me. These have been my weaknesses and insecurities. This has been my past. Here's how I'm correcting it, recognizing it, and moving forward to be better. That's something where, at the very least, there's a possibility the person could say, okay, you're being transparent, you're working on yourself, I'm interested. But right now, everything he does is outcome-based. Everything he does is, I want her to accept me, so I'm going to do this, instead of, I want to do what's right.
And then maybe she will accept me.
And then maybe she will, maybe she won't. But who do I want to be? Who do I choose to be? We have a mutual friend, Stacy Harkey, who was a guest on our show talking about Killmonger in Black Panther, and he talks about you can change your mind at any time about anything. And you can also change who you are or who you choose to be at any time. So speaking of dropping the Megamind mask, he could be the Bernard version of Megamind, but he would have to still be authentically, openly himself. And he is by the end of the film, but we only get like 10% of that. We get 90% of this, which is why they're ranked number 5.
I think Megamind is feeling pretty overwhelmed from all the pressure of his new role as evil ruler of Metrocity.
He's just straining to live up to the mega standards he's set in his Megamind.
Minion keeps telling him not to be so hard on himself.
You know what could help him slow down, reconnect with his needs, and feel lighter?
Therapy?
Yes, therapy could help Megamind build routines and boundaries that actually support his well-being.
Therapy has definitely helped me with that. You can always start fresh and get help to deal with whatever you're facing.
Today's sponsor, BetterHelp, can help you start therapy with confidence.
They'll help you find a therapist that matches your goals, preferences, and needs.
And if the match isn't quite right, you can switch therapists at any time, for any reason, at no extra cost.
72% of BetterHelp clients report improvement in symptoms within 12 weeks. That's not very long.
Showing that professional support truly can make a difference.
Click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/cinematherapy for 10% off your first month.
And let BetterHelp support you in feeling lighter in 2026. Number 4, don't hate me. Don't at me. Shrek and Fiona. I love Shrek and Fiona, but we're focusing on the first film, and even later on, there's some bumps along the way.
Lot of tension.
They are a healthier and more ideal couple the further along the story we get. But in that first film, man,
not great.
It gets rough.
He's not your true love.
What do you know about true love?
Well,
Then he gets all like woozy-eyed looking at her.
The ogre has fallen in love with the princess. Oh, good Lord.
John Lithgow's so great in this.
Shrek, is this true?
Who cares? It's preposterous. Fiona, my love, we're but a kiss away from our happily ever after. Now kiss me.
So I have to say, I love Shrek as a film, and I love Shrek and Fiona as characters and as a couple, but let's just look at the facts and evidence. She had this idealized dream of who was going to rescue her, and when Shrek shows up to actually do the job, she's very put off because he doesn't match up with that.
By the way, I sped this up a little bit so we get through the magical transformation back to a little bit more,
all good. But she's pretty rude to him initially, and he's pretty rude back to her. And listen, it's great for Sam and Diane banter and entertainment value, but we're talking about healthy relationships.
Yeah.
Guards! Guards! I order you to get them out of my sight!
Oh my gosh! Whoa!
Big fight scene. Oh, he gets eaten. He's dead.
Gosh dang, man. That was intense.
I love you.
Really?
Really, really.
Here we go. We're starting to get to the actual root of things.
To clarify, this is a feature, not a bug. The fact that they bicker and that they fight and then they come to realize that they have so much in common.
Magical transformation. Hey, we're going to beat Disney at their own game.
And actually we look the same, but originally we look so different, but we both like to eat bugs, and we both like to burp, and we both like to fart, and we both, all these things.
Are you all right?
Well, yes. But I don't understand. I'm supposed to be beautiful.
But you are beautiful.
All of that is a feature, not a bug, because we want to go on that growth journey with the characters, right? So I'm not criticizing the writing.
It's funny.
And it's
all
funny.
really funny.
And we love enemies to lovers because we get to see such a dramatic swing.
Sure.
But we're talking about, are the relationships healthy, not are they entertaining or worthwhile? And for most of this film, it's an unhealthy dynamic because they're meeting each other with such fear and insecurity that they can't be honest with each other, that they avoid direct confrontation and direct conversation. They have misunderstanding after misunderstanding, and then they deal with their hurt with a lot of passive-aggressive jabbing.
And because they do that for the entire duration of their relationship, right up until now, what they're setting up is a relationship where that is a continuing pattern. And we see that through the rest of the films. It's very much a 2 steps forward, 1 step back. They get to a great place. It takes a long time and a lot of work.
It takes 3 movies.
3 movies.
And the second movie is a lot of that 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And you know what? We love it for. We love it's entertaining as hell.
Sure.
And there are a lot of healthy, functional couples that this is what their journey looks like. They have to learn a lot of things the hard way. They get together when they're young, still maturing, still figuring themselves out, still wrestling with their own insecurities and fears. And they continually choose each other. They continually take accountability and work through things. And they continually grow to provide more safety, acceptance, and belonging for each other. If we were talking about them like in Shrek 4, I'd probably rank them a lot higher.
Near the top.
Yeah. But we're talking about Shrek 1, and it's pretty much a very entertaining dumpster fire for the duration of the film. You guys, we keep getting comments that people are missing episodes or that they haven't seen us in their feed for a while. Like, subscribe, click the bell, and turn the notifications to all, and every week your phone will tell you there's a new Cinema Therapy episode. Don't miss a thing.
It's free real estate. And just go to the subscription feed and watch your stuff. Don't let an algorithm tell you what to do with your life. Make your own decisions. If you want to know more about Shrek and Fiona's relationship in the later films, click here, or listen, we did episodes about it, is the point.
Next is Poppy and Branch from Trolls.
And you've taken all you can bear.
I love seeing her smile. I mean, this is, in healthy relationships, you kind of take turns being strong for each other. And sometimes the people who have the most hope and the most joy and the most optimism, it finally runs dry.
Yeah.
You know?
What? You love me?
So don't be.
I like the little look on his face like, yeah, that's not just a...
It's not
It's
just,
not just a lyric.
It's a great bit of performance, you know, vocally and especially from the animators. And the shot design in this sequence is fantastic.
Look at that.
How they move the camera and where they decide to cut emphasizes bringing her color back, the change of perspective. It tells you so many things without feeling in your face, but it's in keeping with the feeling of this movie, which is really poppy and zippy and zesty, and like there's a lot of stuff going on, so
Yeah.
it should feel a little big, but it feels like the smallest, most subtle, intimate version of big. I loved that sequence in this movie.
Every troll looks like they got hit in the face with a frying pan. And the good news about this couple is genetically, neither one is going to mess up their kids more than the other. They're just...
They're gonna have ugly kids, but they're gonna be, like, ugly.
You wanted to say cute ugly.
I couldn't. They're just gonna be ugly.
And speaking of their commonalities, they're both searching for the same thing. They just go about it in different ways. They both want safety and connection. For him, he leans more into safety and he withdraws. He had connection. He lost connection. He doesn't want to feel that pain again. And in her case, safety and belonging are both found in the community. And she's trying to draw him out. And again, weirdly, on the surface, couldn't be more different. But you get to the core and they're very, very similar.
Right.
Next is Moses and Zipporah. DreamWorks started with prestige, high-level artistic animation, and then took a hard left into
Shrek, which is pretty much just filthy pop culture jokes.
But weird family-friendly-ish.
Yeah.
And then with Kung Fu Panda and How to Train Your Dragon, they hit the sweet spot where it's all of that.
The Prince of Egypt is an achievement. This is a monumental film.
Yeah, it will stand the test of time. So So this one also starts out rough, but it's only rough during like the first few minutes of it compared to like the whole movie.
Sure, yeah.
So he's the Prince of Egypt. Obviously, she's captive. He mocks her because she's fighting him and whatever, but he also facilitates her escape. And then when he has his big turnaround and change of heart, he saves her sisters, and then he is totally humble and accountable. I love when he tells Jethro,
I've done nothing in my life worth honoring.
and Zipporah notices. She notices the humility, and that his change has come from that accountability, that ownership, and deciding to be different. Zipporah never falls for him when he's a bad boy, and I love that. As long as he's a bad boy, she's completely repulsed by him. It's the already changed, humble, contrite version of him that she falls for.
It's the beard.
Also, he's got a, damn it,
Lush.
and I can't really beard, folks. I can patch, you know, I can fuzz, but... And then he meets God, and the very first person he wants to tell is her.
Whoa.
I love the way they portray, like, if you had an encounter with the divine,
Yeah,
you know,
like,
he's like,
if anything, he's not energetic enough.
But I love that you can see him like acting it out for her. This is such a beautiful bit of nonverbal storytelling. We don't have to hear it to get everything that's happening.
It's so cinematic.
Moses, you're just one man.
Zipporah, please.
She's angry, of course, because she doesn't want to get hurt.
Yeah.
Look at your family. They are free. They have a future. They have hopes and dreams, and the promise of a life with dignity. That is what I want for my people. And that is why I must do the task that God has given me.
So she's on board. I love this.
I'm coming with you.
Yeah. She spends about like 3 seconds in stereotypical movie wife of, no, I don't want you to do it. No, I don't want you to get hurt. It's like, here's why it matters to me. And she's like, all right, I'm in.
Cool. I'm not even concerned wife on phone. I'm concerned wife on camel. Let's go.
When she says, I'm coming with you, speaks so much to, I'm not going to try and stop you. I'm not going to try and talk you out of it. It matters to you, but you matter to me. So you focus on the mission, and I'm going to make sure you don't die. You know, I'm going to have your back. I think that is so powerful and so beautiful. That combination of love and support. And she expresses it mostly non-verbally, but he can see it. And he doesn't try to tell her not to feel that way, stop being silly. Like, a lot of people, when they try and reassure their partners, they do it in an insulting, condescending fashion by saying you're being ridiculous.
Your concern doesn't matter. It's not real. That's not cool.
No, and he doesn't minimize it, and he doesn't brush it away.
Right.
He simply explains why. Because it's not just God asked me to do this and I must obey. It's like, this is what I want.
Yeah.
And this is why I want it. Because of what your family has, I want it for my family. And the moment he makes it clear for her, she's on board. She's ride or die. And then we see throughout the whole ordeal in Egypt, they're alternately comforting and strengthening each other. The song When You Believe starts with Moses, devastated and heartbroken because of so many dead. And then Zipporah comes to comfort him with, but look at our people now get to leave. And she's there to lift him. And the opposite happens.
It's not just a one-way street, which is a great thing to see, because obviously, you know, the story that this is drawing from is a very patriarchal story, right? Like, we barely know anything about Zipporah in the Bible, and they fleshed her out and made her a much more three-dimensional character. And it's also hard to cast Michelle Pfeiffer and then not let her do anything.
Right.
It's like, once you cast Michelle Pfeiffer, it's like, oh, we've got a powerhouse.
Yeah,
we got to do something.
But tip of the top, cream of the crop is Hiccup and Astrid, and there we stop.
Oh my gosh.
Cream of the crop Tip of the top, it's Mary Poppins, and there we stop.
I'd be so mad, but it's Mary Poppins, so I can't be.
Hum diddly hum diddly hum diddly hum diddly. So Hiccup and Astrid, or Asscup as I like to call them, he's really... he doesn't know what to do, and...
It's a mess. You must feel horrible. You've lost everything. Your father, your tribe, your best friend.
Thank you for summing that up.
She's being empathetic.
Why couldn't I have killed that dragon when I found him in the woods? Would have been better for everyone.
Yep, the rest of us would have done it. So why didn't you? Why didn't you?
I love how incisive Astrid is.
I couldn't.
That's not an answer.
Why is this so important to you all of a sudden?
Because I want to remember what you say right now.
Oh, for the love of it. I was a coward. I was weak. I wouldn't kill a dragon.
You said wouldn't that time.
Okay, whatever. I wouldn't. 300 years, and I'm the first Viking who wouldn't kill a dragon.
It's a strength, not a weakness. And she sees it.
Yeah.
First to ride one, though.
There you go.
So...
I wouldn't kill him because he looked as frightened as I was. I looked at him, and I saw myself.
I bet he's really frightened now. What are you gonna do about it?
Probably something stupid.
Good, but you've already done that.
Then something crazy.
That's more like it.
Well, we know what her kink is. No shame?
What is it, Alan?
Crazy. She likes it weird.
She likes it loco.
Oh, I guess it's just you and me, huh?
Nope, just you.
There's a therapeutic technique called motivational interviewing.
Okay.
And with motivational interviewing, it's all about asking the right questions. You are guiding people in a sense, but there's also room for them to arrive at a different conclusion than you thought they would.
Okay.
What you're really getting at is the curiosity for what are you actually thinking and feeling and what are your motivations, bringing that to the surface, because he's trapped in this moment of here's how my father thinks, here's how everyone else thinks, here's what I was raised with. Therefore, by those standards, I'm a failure and an idiot.
And you know how she snaps him out of it? This is one of my favorite lines in any movie ever. It's a thing I've actually tried to incorporate into my own life. Astrid says something that makes him realize how important he is. She says, I want to remember what you say right now. The implication is, what you say right now is going to be a life-changing event, not just for me, but for the entire tribe of Vikings and maybe for all of Dragonkind. You are so important that what you say right now must be enshrined in my memory. And that snaps him out of it.
And she leads into that asking the question, why did you let the dragon go? Why didn't you kill him? And it's not an accusatory question. And he initially kind of takes it as if it is.
Yeah.
Because he's so used to being judged for it. And what she's really trying to do is, the answer is more powerful if it comes from you. The implication is, I already have an idea of why this matters to you and who you are. This is such a powerful thing to do if you're a boss or in business, but also as a parent or with friends or with your kids, whoever, to let the answer come from them. And usually you can do it if you know the person well enough that you won't be terribly surprised by what they say.
Right.
Astrid already knows, maybe not word for word, but she's got the general idea of why Hiccup didn't kill that dragon. And she could tell him, and she could remind him, but it's so much more powerful to ask the question and let them remember themselves and let them say it themselves and draw the conclusion themselves. So it's a masterful bit of motivational interviewing here. And she does this repeatedly throughout the series. She's great at this. This is her way of helping Hiccup remember, I'm actually a good person and what I do matters, and I have people who believe in me. But instead of doing a motivational speech, she just asks the right questions and stands back.
And the thing that I love about Hiccup in their relationship is he is constantly teaching Astrid empathy.
Yeah.
Which, you know, is a fun sort of stereotypical gender role inversion, right? Like she's the tough, hard as nails warrior who's incisive and is always getting to the point, and he's the one who's like, but feelings.
And to your point, he's teaching her empathy constantly. She's constantly teaching him self-worth, confidence, and decisiveness. Because they both need these things from each other. They are marvelous at accepting influence. Hiccup and Astrid, who they become throughout the series, is a direct result of their association with and love for each other, and also their humility to not resist, to be curious, to respect the other enough to want that input. To know and trust that the person I am with, whatever they have to teach me, is going to benefit me, and I want to listen to them. Well, that's my take. How would you guys rank these DreamWorks couples, and what other DreamWorks couples would you like us to talk about on the show?
And in case you hadn't noticed, we have already talked about basically every single one of these movies. Go to our DreamWorks playlist. There's probably a link. You can also there's a search bar. Just Cinema Therapy DreamWorks. We've talked about all of these movies because they're great. We love the folks at DreamWorks. Good job. Teamworks makes the dream works.
We can do anything when we have teamwork.
So until next time.
Well, I have to save my ass, Cup.
She's never going to find out. That's the point of lying. And watch movies.
We want to thank our patrons who support our show and also get extended, ad-free, director's cut episodes a couple of days before they drop on YouTube, and they get a bunch of other stuff, including the movie that I'm making over on Cinema Therapy Studios, which is what we call our Patreon. Anyway, people with names like these names.
Ethan Laurie.
Frank Jones.
Misk Alanius.
Abby.
Lillian Beale. We love you.